One of my biggest goals for 2026 is to really flesh out this idea of an autonomous software agency where
Yeah.
we can now go in and I mean we're seeing it right now, it's a race to the bottom in this industry when we're trying to price out a lot of our stuff because you got the lovables and the base 44s and they're really hitting the non-techie people. And so any startup that's looking for development funding, there are the ones that you can't use a lovable, like you can't use a base 44. You do need the custom.
This is Super SaaS Bros with Cory and Jayde. Let's jump in. Hello, hello. Welcome back to another episode of Super SaaS Bros. We are your hosts, Cory and Jayde Silva. Today we have another update week talking about what's going on in the businesses of Six Summit, of Social Sweep, and then maybe anything new that we're seeing in the world of AI. So, Jayde, how is your week going?
Good man, dude. I kind of miss these weeks. I think we haven't had one in a while. We've been having some guests on, which is awesome. But I do enjoy these weeks, and it's great to just kind of give everyone an update. This
Yeah.
week has been kind of weird. I think it's like, half the week you had Thanksgiving yesterday and Black Friday's today, so things are kind of a little slow, which is kind of both good and bad. Because on the good side, it's like I get a lot of time back. My calendar's not as full, and so I'm able to kind of be heads down on a lot of like the development and the product side. So it's kind of like it's a shift in my schedule, but then obviously it's not as good because my calendar is not as full, and so people are
Yes.
either canceling or they're pushing to next week, which is cool. But it's been good. It's been a good week. I was sick yesterday, but other than
Yeah.
that, I've had a pretty good week. So how about you? How's your
Nice.
week?
Good. Weird as well for me. Dude, I totally forgot it was Black Friday today.
Yeah.
That's how crazy busy things have been. I swear, I don't know about you, but I kind of forget about holidays.
Mm.
Since like starting our own business, like I forget about holidays. I forget about like when someone says, "Oh, have a good long weekend." I was like, "Oh, that's the first time I'm hearing it's a long weekend." Which I don't know if this is a healthy thing or if it's just like you just care about the business and so you just kind of keep working.
Mm.
It's just something I've noticed over the last like year and a half, 2 years. Um, it's just that I forget about it. But anyways, this week was good, but also yeah, weird. American Thanksgiving, people kind of pushing things off, and then I'm also like traveling next week on first like real vacation, I would say, in a while. And even this real vacation, I'm not like I'm working like kind of two like Monday, Friday next week. I'm trying to take like a few days off just like to spend with like, Rochelle and Sienna and just, try to, I guess, lack of a better word, like disconnect from work.
Totally.
But it's this weird thing where it's like I almost don't want to. Like we are in such a I think when you have like flow and you have momentum, it's really hard to want to slow down. And so that's kind of where I've been struggling. So my compromise is like still working on Monday, still working on Friday, so I can keep the momentum going at least like week over week. That's how I'm thinking about it in my head.
Yeah.
So it's been weird this week, kind of like trying to pass off some workload, make sure things are covered for next week. I trust everyone on the team. It's just when you've been in so much momentum lately, it's hard to let go of some stuff.
100%. Dude, I totally get it. I think it's like it's an interesting thing keeping momentum going and just like staying in that flow state. And
Yeah.
so and what a time to like reflect now. I mean, it's November 28th. You go back to like the beginning days of us really starting this podcast together. And like back in like the January, February, March days, and everyone's been hearing it. And now it's like we're like 10 months later, we're a team of now six, we include Sierra, that's seven, right?
Yeah.
That is a completely different shift in 9 months. The amount of projects that have been coming in, the partnerships, the how we're just like operating as a company now, all the SOPs we got going, the frameworks, the like the on the tech side too, like how we're able to spin things up so quickly, I think has just been such an like incredible year, like an incredible experience. Like people talk about the peaks and the
Yeah.
valleys, the highs and the lows, the like uninformed optimism and then the informed pessimism and then the valley of death and coming out of that. And I think that's just like it's going to
Yeah.
continue to happen, like I mean we're only like really truly year one of like all of us kind of like working together, but I'm really proud and impressed with everyone.
Yeah, I agree, man. It's we talk about this like I think the last few weeks we've talked about it like relatively frequently. It's just like looking back. It technically wasn't that long ago, but it does feel like a lifetime ago.
Yeah.
When we start talking about like, the beginning of this year. And yeah, the team is so different and what we've done in the last 3 months comparatively to the other 3 quarters of the year pretty much
Hmm.
is like night and day, and it's really really cool. Like sometimes I just like I don't almost want to reflect on it because I just want to keep going. It's
Yeah.
just it's just weird thing. It's like cool we did the thing, but I almost don't want to reflect on it because it's like I don't know if it's superstitious, but I'm just like I don't want to jinx it, right?
Okay.
I just want to like just keep rolling with it, right? So, but it is really cool, and I'm proud of everyone. I'm happy with like the team that we've been building, and we've been like hitting out of the park with hires, which is like pretty crazy. You found like an amazing one of our developers, Jason. He's phenomenal.
Yeah.
Um, and you've been running into all these people in like random places, getting these weird connections and relationships, and it seems to be working. So, which is pretty cool. So you're like, I think you were saying like 2 for 2 on hires or something like that, and hoping for a 3 for 3 here. So
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
pretty
Yeah.
cool.
It's super cool. I think being able to just jam out at a coffee shop and then just if people are at a coffee shop on a weekend and they're doing work and I see code on their screen, I think immediately it says something about them. Like either they're kind of doing
Yeah.
their own thing if it's on the weekend, catching up on some work, maybe they're building their own business, maybe they're just a hustler. Like I don't know. I don't know why else you'd be at a coffee shop coding. So you're doing something cool.
Yeah.
And so when I see something like that, I immediately go over and I just introduce myself and I just like we kind of like nerd out a little bit about like what he's doing and then what I'm doing. And then that's kind of just what happened over the past weekend. And I think I find it's really easy to immediately find some sort of like synergy or connection there because you both are kind of already speaking the same language in that environment. And so
Hmm.
that always like just starts off very well. And so in my mind, I'm thinking, how do we continue building that synergy for the long run if things tend to work out well together?
Yeah, absolutely, man. I love that. Keep doing it because you keep finding these gems. So yeah, the guy you're talking about, like we literally met him in the past week, and we have him starting on Monday. So
Yeah, that was crazy. But even for him, he's like, dude, we just met, and it was just like met him on a Sunday,
yeah,
went for coffee on Monday, met the team on a Tuesday, and then sent the offer out like yesterday, and now he's gonna start Monday. I was just like, and he was
yeah.
like, dude, you guys move really quick, and it's like, yeah, well, there's no time to waste.
No, man, they got to get to work, and it's really funny because we're heading into the last month of the year, and I think the mentality sometimes is to try to slow down, but
Yeah,
I feel like we've been speeding up.
separation
Uh,
season.
Yeah, man, separation season. That's exactly it. So, um, yeah, I love it, man. This is the time for us to really push ahead. I'm just like, yeah, I don't know. The next 12 months for us. Oh man, like after this past 3 months, like honestly, it feels like literally the sky is the limit. Like it
Yeah.
really, really does. And I just want to try to push as far as we possibly can. So
Yeah.
be good.
Yeah. What would you tell the audience right now would be like talk about our goals for 2026 because we just did our annual planning, right?
Yeah.
And so what would you be okay talking about in terms of our goals for 2026 with Six Summit?
Yeah, man. I mean, I think we shared a long time ago in an early episode what our goals for this year were.
Right.
And I'll talk mostly like, from a revenue perspective. But at the beginning of this year, we told each other, we met up in Kelowna. We did the kind of our personal and like business planning all together. And we were like, the goal this year is to do 1 million in revenue. And we're
Hmm.
like, cool, 25K projects. And, we do like, I think it's like 40 of those and we're golden, right? That was the goal. For the first 8 months or so, um, we had one and solid project at the beginning of the year, and then like kind of two more softer ones at the end, and we were nowhere near it. Um, I could tell we weren't going to hit that goal, and that was frustrating. This year, now that we're talking about the next 12 months, I can confidently say that we're going to hit 1 million in revenue, and I actually feel confident about it. I think when we talked about it in January, I think I knew it was possible, but I don't know if I was fully confident because one, I've never done it before.
Yeah.
So I didn't know what was possible.
Yeah.
But saying it now, I easily see a path towards it and past it. So that's our goal for the next 12 months, which everyone's aware is to actually hit that
Yeah.
million in revenue, and where we are pacing very well for that. So that's kind of like the main goal. And then also the other goal was like to grow our team, which we are doing pretty quickly as well too. As Jayde said, we're kind of 6, 7 if you count Sierra as well too. And I think our goal was always to stay around, less than 10 people. And I think that will continue to be our goal for the next 12 months. But we'll adapt and we'll flex with it.
Yeah.
We have a lot of frameworks and ways to work quicker. So every
Yeah.
output per person is going to get higher. But those are kind of the goals for this year: grow the team, deliver amazing products for our clients, and hit a million plus in revenue. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, to build on that too, I think in terms of like value that we want to create in the world, and we talked about this idea of like, we're a software agency, and so it's really hard to, in someone else's words, to kind of like stamp out a bunch of donuts, right? Like where we can't really be a donut factory and just continue to build a
Yeah.
bunch of projects in a factory type of way. And
Yeah.
the idea, like one of my biggest goals for 2026 is to really flesh out this idea of an autonomous software agency where
Yeah.
we can now go in and I mean we're seeing it right now, it's a race to the bottom in this industry when we're trying to price out a lot of our stuff because you got the lovables and base 44s and they're really hitting the non-techie people. And so any startup that's looking for development funding, there are the ones that you can't use a lovable, like you can't use a base 44. You do need the custom software where we come in, that's our expertise. But I think it'd be really cool. There's a whole market out there where funding might not even be accessible to them, or they might be able to, do a little bit of bootstrapping, friends and family to pay for some sort of development that would be very valuable to them to get them started. That I think we could do at a fraction of the cost as a yeah, like a done do it yourself. I guess it'd be a do it yourself type of kind of framework where they go in, it's kind of similar to like a lovable or base 44, but instead it really like it does everything and more, and we're already building out the frameworks for it. And so I don't know, that really excites me to be able to go in and just talk about the type of software that you want, and it goes
Yeah.
through success pipeline and built it out for you without anyone getting involved.
Yeah, man, it's that is absolutely the goal, is like from proposal generation to actually having this fully built
Yeah,
product or platform
yeah,
is the goal. So then like, our devs on the team, you think about it, they're split between building our software that powers all of this and our frameworks, and then also being the ones that support all these products that come out afterwards, because like
yeah,
ultimately they're going to need support afterwards, right?
yep,
And so it really changes the frame from like these really massive like build hurdles at the beginning of all these projects, which consumes a lot of like devs time, right? And so that's like the main part that we're trying to basically automate fully, right?
totally.
The way I see it too is like it's almost a do it yourself, but to me it's almost like done with you,
I'm
is the
with
best
you.
way to. Yeah, because it's like the way I've been trying to. One of my things this week I'm working on is like a qualification process for Six
Or at
Summit,
least,
right?
yeah,
Yeah, for leads, and part of that is like, well, what's like a an offshoot offer that kind of leads towards this autonomous solution that we're thinking of. And I think we and myself have built enough prototypes using
yeah,
stuff like Lovable and Base 44 and VO and stuff like that, that like I have like, prompts that are excellent at creating these like prototypes. And so, but a lot of people might not be, right?
hmm,
And so you can go to Lovable, you can type all these things. But it really comes down to like the prompt engineering itself to be able to build these excellent prototypes. And so I'm like, cool. What if we just have this intake? Maybe they're slightly qualified, and but maybe they're not ready to spend
yeah,
30 to 50K or something like that on like
yeah,
some heavier build. But maybe they want to spend 2,500 bucks on a prototype,
yeah,
and they basically give all the information, and then it uses our framework as a prompt. We take that, we dump it into like Lovable or Base 44, builds it. We just do some small tweaks here and there if we need
oh, I see what
to,
you're saying. Oh, I
and
see
then
what
it
you're
gets
saying.
sent to them. So it's like 80% automated, right?
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's kind of the goal, is that like they can get that in like, less than a day, maybe,
Yeah.
or something like
Yeah.
that. I don't know. That's like one, to me, that's like step one towards what we want to eventually get to, which is like we don't even touch it, hands off everything, right? But that's where in my head, because right now, like stuff like Lovable, like you can't connect directly to it. Like you still have to drop like a prompt into it. I'm pretty sure Base 44 is also the same. VO might be the same as well too. Like you need to drop prompts into them still. Yeah. But eventually, like it would be sweet, right? That we can just like get the intake form, generate the prompt, it automatically just like dumps into the builder itself, builds.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think that'd be cool. It's like, I don't know, almost like a wrapper around Lovable Base 44. Get us started,
Yeah. Yeah.
and we really have our own proprietary thing. Yeah, I think that'd be really cool. That really excites me because one, it creates a ton of enterprise value, and two, I really like we've been there many times on, well, for bootstrapping, we don't have funding and we want to build out a product. That's going to take us a lot of time. Or if we don't have the resources to build it out, why can't we just use something to do it for us? Yeah.
Exactly. Exactly. So yeah, so that's kind of like I think all the main goals for us for the next 12 months is just like how do we turn our service into like as close to like almost like a product as possible, right? And then the power just comes in our devs being able to support all these products that
Or
are being pumped out.
yeah, and then I would like to get to being the development partners of 10 businesses next year, like on retainer or development partner or whatever it
Mm.
is of 10. I think that would be really cool for us, for them to lean on us, and we have that partnership going for the long run in different spaces. I think like that's always exciting, gives a lot of like versatility in terms of what we're working on. And yeah, I think that'd be really cool to really like
Yeah,
support these
which
guys.
100%, which I think is fully possible. And like right now, like, all our clients and projects, we have a pretty wide spread of like different industries, types of projects being worked on, different challenges being worked on.
Yeah.
So a really good chance for us to like, turn them into like, like
Partners.
permanent like partners, right? So
Yeah.
yeah, so it's super exciting stuff. Yeah, it's almost like I want to like take clips from like the first couple episodes from January or February and just like almost us do some reaction videos to it or something like that. You
Mm-hmm.
know what I mean? Maybe
Yeah.
judge ourselves on how we were talking about things, right? Um, that would
I
be
think
kind
that's
of
a
cool.
great idea. I think we should do that. I think we should
Yeah.
absolutely do something like that in our next podcast and just like do
Okay.
some judging. Like right at the end, like be like a year end true reflection on like us
Yeah.
going through it and just like having a retrospective on it.
Yeah. Laugh at ourselves a little bit.
Yeah, I
Be
don't know
good.
if it'd be too bad, but I think it'd be pretty cool. Maybe a fun
Yeah,
exercise.
absolutely. Absolutely. Okay, we can do that for the next episode. I think that'd be kind of fun.
You know, I think we have someone on next week. But yeah, do it closer to the holidays.
Cool. Awesome, man. Is there anything else you want to chat about? Anything new in AI that's been exciting you lately? Anything new in social sleep you want to talk about?
I think it's kind of the same stuff. You know, Gemini 3 just got released. Fact that I just learned about this week that we threw in our newsletter. Fun fact to end this off is right now your smartphone has more processing power in it today than NASA ever did during the year that they launched to the moon. All of NASA ever did launching to the moon, which means you have enough processing power in your pocket to get to the moon, is basically what that means to me,
Wow, that must
right?
get you so amped up.
I'm so amped up.
You're like, why aren't I there right now?
Why am I not there? Why can't I just like, yeah, build some thrusters out of this and just go?
That is a
Yeah.
wild stat, though. That's
Isn't that
crazy.
crazy? That's bananas. Yeah. So that's in our newsletter. Summit Signals is our newsletter. We release it every single week. Guys, thank you so much for listening. Dude, hey, sorry, I didn't even put it back to you. Is there anything else that you'd like to cover?
Oh no, man. I think I'm good. Half excited for my vacation next week. Everything going well in Six Summit. Excited to have someone new start on Monday. I'm good, man. It's a good week.
Yeah. I think it's just like for me, the only takeaway is like highs can be highs, lows can be lows. But if we can set our high as our new low and just like not really take reactions from these peaks and valleys, I think that's
Yep.
just just keeping that mentality to just like every day is day zero, right? We just kind of keep going, keep pushing forward. So guys, thank you so much for listening. This is the Super SaaS Brothers podcast. We are on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and YouTube. We release a podcast every Friday. Thank you so much for listening in. You can leave us a rating and review, and we will see y'all next week.
Later.
Bye.
Thank you for listening to another episode of Super SaaS Bros with Cory and Jayde. We'll see you next time.